Right then, welcome back to Van Helsing. As you have just seen the title of the Van Helsing name of the game. Now, if you remember on my last recording of Mission 11, one person would have said, you must breach the Black Tower of Dracula's castle, and this horror bridge for this is the one and only way to the vampire's covered throne. As well as with that was that we had some bits and pieces done on it. As well as, don't forget that I am on hard difficulty. As well as, don't forget I have said that I have done the game on medium with almost everything been collected. As well as remind you where all the bits and pieces are and what you're looking for. If you've always have trouble trying to find all the bits and pieces you've never found before, or either you've always got almost everything apart from a couple of bits and pieces that was either lost, or you haven't got no idea what you're looking for, or either where they're hidden. And so basically what I'm doing is helping you where all the bits and pieces are, what you're looking for, and how the game works. Bits and pieces. As well as on Mission 11. As well as I said, that I have done Mission 11 on medium. As well as making a couple of mistakes, which was involving missing a couple of bits and pieces that was not quite in the correct order. And what I mean by that is go too far ahead and missing a couple of bits and pieces that you could easily get hold of before you go past, that you might have seen before you go even further ahead, like I did. But still, I did do the Mission 11 to remind you that I did fluff up with showing you that you could basically find a specific thing, which would be a stone brick wall with a symbol on it for you to destroy, which was to do with using a nice crossbow weapon with the ammo with the light blue bar to do a lot of damage to destroy the stone brick wall with a symbol on it that would have hidden an egg for you to grab hold of if you haven't collected it already. As well as, like I said, on medium I collected everything apart from just a few little pieces that you can't get hold of unless you do the game again on medium or hard, but especially hard difficulty. And you'll find out exactly what I mean very, very soon. That's all I'm going to say for now about that bit. As well as I did show you that you had to fight up against a couple of owls and then find a door to go through, a door that will lead you to another room with some bats, some smoking bats and some normal bats. As well as you would have found some vases to smash all over the place in certain corners and everywhere around the room. Also have some crates or gravestones, which what they're called, gravestones, but they're in wood for you to smash with your whacking sticks. As well as after I showed you those, I went back towards the door and show you there was a symbol with something here that I would have showed you a thing beside the door that would be hiding something, as well as remind you that you can collect something. But as I said before, like I have done the game on medium, pick up almost everything, as well as basically just reminding you that you can get a cheat from by that door to destroy the thing that's hiding it. And basically the cheat that you can get hold of, which will be Shadow Body. I did show you what it did, as well as basically the same sort of thing. Remind you what you can find, where they're hidden, and what they do, especially the cheats. There'll be a white symbol or just a white colour thing. Of course, go to the other side of the room, which you'll find another door, and go straight through there, which is where you find Anna and Van Helsing having a nice little discussion. As well as when you do go through that door, you would have saw Anna being chained up against a stone thing, wherever it is, and she was tied up, which is where she went after mission 9 that you would have done with one of Dracula's bitches that would have took up, and that's where that vampire bitch would have took up over there and chained her up, and so you had to save her without us and yourself moving him around all over the place. And after the discussion was done, and she was saying about, wait, you've been bitten, Valgan? And he said, yes. And she said, we have to get you the antidote for both of you. And Van Helsing said, of course, there's something I must tell you. And she said, oh no, please. As well as Van Helsing said, from his last breath, he pointed to Castle Dracula, and she said, no, he was trying to help you. And Van Helsing said, no, he bit me because he was a werewolf. And of course, as Anna would have said, something else. He was just trying to help you. As well as, of course, she would have said, or Van Helsing would have said, what possible reason why he bit me? And she said, I don't know. And eventually, the whole place had some bits and pieces falling down with a specific enemy, which would be the mummies or whatever they are, but they were tall things with electric, as well as when they're moving their heads, or what they do exactly, and they just move the electric thing from their eyes, as well as from right behind the head, around their head, move it around the place to hit Van Helsing with, or hit anywhere, because you basically got to avoid them. As well as once I did that, some more things would have broken from the ceiling to break a little hole between where Anna would have been tied up from the left side and the right side for each one of those two gaps that can break off. As well as there would have been some chandeliers and some other boxes of kind of things, which would be the gravestone boxes. Basically, you smash those with your whacking sticks or your saws. And then I jumped down from one of the gaps, which is where you could find some more of those small midgets that like to chuck bombs, detonators, and jabbing things and other sharp things for them to fry up. As well as in the room, you would have found some cogs, as well as a thing in the middle, which would have something, like I said before, it could be like a musical instrument. Whatever the musical instrument I'm trying to get in my head at the minute. But yeah, one of those was be there. As well as I showed you, there would have been a thing on one side of the room which had to have a gate stopping you going around in an area. But first, what you had to do was use your electricity weapon to hit a circle with a blue thing. But before I did do that with the electricity weapon, without even holding the R1 button, which is the actually button that you're always going to need to do, and use, as well as basically before I did push the square button, the thing would have done it automatically, which did not make any sense to me whatsoever, because with the thing, it would have the circle thing, it would have an arm on the left hand side. It would start on the left hand side, and with the red bit that will be on the right hand side of it, you've basically got to use your electricity weapon and push the square about 4 to 5 times before the arm would have pointed up towards the highest point, and then push the square button again to hit it, and then eventually the arm will point all the way towards the red bit to allow the cogs and everything else to work and open up the gate for you to get onto an elevator, which will take you up to another area. But like I said, it did it in a different way than I should have done it, which just never made any sense to me why it did it. Must have been a glitch or something. But yeah, it did a glitch on me, because you're supposed to be using the electricity weapon and press the square with the accuracy button pushed in, and just keep pushing the square until it hits the arrow towards the highest point and pushes itself all the way towards the right hand side where the red bit is supposed to be. As well as when you go up the elevator, it will take you up to another part of the high point of a room with some eggs, baby eggs, and you'd have to find a door which will allow you to go to another high point from another room, and you had to swing yourself across to one part of an area, as well as I did show you that you had to swing across to another side of the room with your grapple hook with R1 and triangle, which is always the buttons you can have to push. And I showed you something, but I was pointing out that you could collect something from there, which would have been a life increaser. As I said before, that I would have showed you the life increaser, but it wasn't there because I've already collected that on medium difficulty, even though I'm doing the game on hard difficulty. So yeah, you won't be able to see it because I've already picked it up. I was pointing out where it is if you haven't collected it already. Like I said, I'll remind you where all the bits and pieces are if you haven't played the game before, or either seen a couple of recordings and you think, yep, I'll have a go at this game and see how I get on, and just find all the bits and pieces I think that is the best thing to collect, and other bits and pieces that you might be thinking about. And so yeah, just remind you those things were there. And after that, I swang all the way back over to the other side to another door, which is where you got to go next. And of course you'll find some more of those small midgets, as well as you find a cog of some kind on the left side of the room. As well as, don't forget, I did say that the room is a big long room with a lot of midgets that you had to destroy, or either basically try and run all the way to the other room, to the other side of the room, shall we say. So you could try and run all the way to the other side of the room, where you can find a chain, that find a little thing to pull yourself up to where you can find a symbol with a thing had a symbol on it. But the only thing is, you can't destroy it unless you pick up something else, which will be a machine gun. And I said about on the other side of the room and pointed out that you could find the machine gun on top of it, and basically all you've got to do is push the triangle button and pick it up, and then just go straight towards that chain thing to take you up, and use a machine gun to rip it off, because that's the only thing you can use to basically get through to the next part of mission 11. But also, like I said, you can always just stay in the room and just kick the shit out of every single of those midgets, which is the best idea for you to do. And when you do, and when you pick up the machine gun, there'll be some more of those midgets. But if you just picked up the machine gun and just go towards that chain, it'll take you up, and then you can just about get away with it. But usually, when you do pick up the machine gun, some of those will just attack you, and then you just got to take the pain and just run away, or you could just simply use the other weapons like the electricity weapon and just kick the shit out of them until they're all dead, as well as hopefully get your health bar to go all the way back up to the size you do have, whichever kind of size you do have. So I use the machine gun to rip that off, and of course take you to another room. Like I said, there is also some of those tall ghostly bitches or whatever they are, and like I said, they are electric ones that can do your health in. But also I did point out on the right hand side of the room there'll be a life increaser for you to pick up if you haven't picked it up already, as well as like I said before, I have picked the life increaser up on medium difficulty, and it wouldn't be there. It's because I picked it up, and I just pointed out on hard difficulty you can find that over there. As well as you can get towards the door and press the triangle, and also use R1, which is the axis. So R1 and a triangle to grab some green God symbols on the edge of the ceiling that will fall on the floor for you to pick up, and then press the triangle to get through the door, which will take you to another room. On one side you'll find some skeletons trapped in a trap or a gate kind of thing, as well as there'll be 3 of those, one in the middle, one on the left, and one on the right. And one on the right with you using your whacking sticks to open up a gate. You can kill one skeleton, which will give you 2 or just 1 ammo. REPN as a job will top your light blue bar back up to the size that you do have, especially if you want to go into INVENTORY. But first, what you've got to do is press the start button to go into there, and then use one of those if you notice your light blue bar has gone further down than you really need to. But still, I'll give you some more information about that in a moment. As well as get to another part where you can find another door, where I went in there to go into another area, which would be in the middle, which will be a circle full of blood, as well as there'll be 3 rooms, one in the middle, one on the left, one on the right. And I showed you on each one of those, you'll be fighting up against some of those fiery ones of those tall bitches. And basically get rid of all those, because when you've done 2 of those in one room, there'll be some more in the middle where you just come from. And you have to get rid of those, and then go to the left or right, whichever rooms you've already done before, get rid of them. And I did show you that you would have a purple circle thing, or a red circle, or well, pretty much a blue circle, and you have 3 of those, one in the middle of the room, one on the left, one on the right, and you had to use your electricity weapon and the ammo to hit the circle thing, which will allow you to unlock a challenge, which will be a circle thing that will be in the blood. It will rise up in the middle, as well as I pointed out that you had to use an egg to unlock the challenge, would be challenge 3. And also I did show you that there would have been every single one of those unlocked, as well as point out that you can always find yourself having 5 cheats, as well as pointing out that if you unlock 2 challenges and you complete them and you've unlocked the other 3 and you had trouble with those and you just want to go straight back through the purple thing and just ignore those 3 and said yourselves, you want to say fuck it, I'm not doing that, and just come back for another day or whenever. But you had to do those 3 as well as do the other 2 that you've done to get the cheats, is because, like I said before, if you complete every single one of those 5 without going through that purple thing, you can get right, so let's try this again. So like I said, if you stay in the room with the 5 challenges and you complete them all without going straight through that purple thing, you can get a weapon, which would be a rifle gun. And also what I did do was switch the memory cards, like I said before, to show you what weapon you can get hold of, as well as basically show you what you've got to do on challenge 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But on challenge 3 I was close of showing you how to make a success out of it, because I did jump on the 4th one, but I managed to fluff up on the 5th one, because there's 5 ledges you got to jump on and then use the R1 and triangle to pull yourself out of the circle before the blood reaches you, and that's how you can complete the challenge. As well as the circle one on challenge 2, which is defend the ring. Basically, you just got to go round and round and round and stop the enemy from knocking you off, or even make yourself slide off. As well as make sure the time hits 0 for you to make a success out of it. And challenge 1 with the stone statues, you have to get those destroyed. But the only way you can do it is use the enemies, which will be the Pacific one, which will be the stone flying statues. You just got to get them to smash every single statue, even though sometimes they just want to go the wrong direction when you want them to go the right direction. As well as I did show you that the ones of the challenges you can collect, which will be full skin, which will be challenge 5, challenge 4, which will be the maze, you'll get that, which will be GARCOYLE, skin. The other one, which will be challenge 3, will be allow you to have ARC HANGER skin. That's the one you can collect. Also, you can collect the no, let's try this again. So you would have collected WRAITH skin. Also, you can collect the last one will be, of course, DWERGER skin. And those are the 5 challenges. We'll give you those 5 cheats. And so I pointed out those, as well as show you roughly how to slowly complete every one of those 5. As well as switch the memory cards back over to show you how to complete the next part of the final bit of mission 11, which was basically, of course, climb up the broken bit in the middle of the blood bit, which use the R1 and triangle to pull yourself up and part of it, and just go round and around the edges, because there'll be certain parts of the circle being broken off. So you have to use the R1 and triangle to pull yourself all the way around the circle of the bits that have been broken off, with R1 and triangle, your grapple hook, to pull yourself all the way up to the top, where you can find a door, where you can find yourself a bridge with some stone statues with their own whacking sticks, as well as show you can go down an edge of the left side, where you can grab a life REP and jump, which will top your health bar back up to the top. Whenever you have a certain size, that you might want to use one of those to top it back up if you really want to. But also I went to the other side of the bridge, where you would have saw me fight up against the final bitch that was left in the Friends of Dracula's, which will be Demon ALEERA, which is whatever kind of name that is. But yep, you'll be dealing with that one. And then after you deal with that one, which is what I did do eventually, as well as when I've been using some of the life REP and jump to top my health bar back up, because every time when I've been fighting up against that thing, just kept flicking knocking my health down, as well as a couple of bits and pieces as well. And last of all, eventually Thanos, and when I sorted her out to make her health go all the way down from the right side to the left side, and then eventually Thanos would have grabbed something and sling it straight in between one of her tits, as well as eventually kill her, because she would have burnt angry, and then eventually, slowly but surely, she was dead. As well as the last of all, before we do any more on the final mission that's left, I did buy every single 3 of the life REPEN jump, which will allow me to use those to top my health bar back up whenever I do take some damage. That is going to probably go all the way down, because like I said, I'm on the hard difficulty, which allows the health bar to go flicking quickly go down, which can be a bit annoying. But there you go. Like I said, hard difficulty allows you to have troubles of possibly trying to stay in one piece without dying a lot. So before we do mission 12, which will be the final one, the person would have said successful can only be a CHIEVED, whatever spells. And of course, he would have had said covenant or whatever THROUGH is spelled, as well as he would have said Dracula's this stash. Let's do it this way. As well as he would have said Dracula's DESTRUCTION, what it spells. As well as he would have said, my son breached the devil's tower and free us from his evil once and for all. So that's what I'm going to do today. As well as, like I said, that I am on hard difficulty, so it's going to make it twice as harder for me to deal with things, as well as remind you where all the bits and pieces are that you might have not been picking up for a long while. As well as play the game exactly how the game plays out exactly. As well as, like I said, if I want to play a bit more aggressive, then I can. But still, here we go. This is mission 12, and this is the final bit that is left. Okay, so you'll find some steps around it. So make sure you go all the way around it. But before you go too far, about here, you'll alert some more of these things. These tool things will do some electric from their eyes and turn that around all over the place. Like that one hit me there, wherever it is. Also with the things that falls down on the ground, which will be your demons, whichever ones you are up against, will give you some green or red god symbols. The red ones will top your health bar back up to the top, and the green ones will allow you to buy things. As well as, like I said, I have buyed some life REP energy up to allow myself to use the life REP energy up to top my health bar back up to the top of the size that I do have. Now, before we do anything, now up the top of the screen there's a red bar, which is your health bar, as well as there will be 15 black squares in total for your health bar to be a nice massive size, even though it did for a little while for me. And so with the life bar, as I said, there's 15 black squares, and basically what you're going to have to do is find a couple or a fair few life increases scattered around in every mission there is, apart from mission 12. As well as with the missions, you'll have a fair load of those life increases, but also you're going to have to pick up 2 of the life increases, because when you pick up one, it will not allow one of those black squares to be filled up in red. Is because you have to find another one to allow one of the black squares to be squeezing one of those parts of the red to be filled up in one of those black squares. As well as with 10 black squares, when you do find the first half of one life increaser, you're going to have to find another one for 10 black squares to be filled up in red. But also with the other 5 of the black squares, you're going to have to buy 5 life increases in armory for the final part of the 5 black squares to be filled up in red, for it to reach all the way to towards where the weapons are, whichever weapons you're using. As well as underneath the red bar that you might see, there's a light blue bar, which is your ammo that goes to the weapons that can do a load of fucking damage. Also there will be 5 black squares, and also with the 5 black squares for the light blue bar to go all the way to the other side of where the weapon is, as well as where the green god symbol is. Basically what you're going to have to do is buy the ammo increases to allow the light blue bar to reach towards where the green god symbol is underneath the red bar there, as well as the weapons. You'll also collect the ammo that goes to the weapons when you're moving ahead into certain missions that you're doing. As well as with the ammo, what you're going to have to do is push the L1 button for Van Helsing to use the ammo that will go to the weapons to do a lot of fucking damage. And also underneath the red bar, there'll be a yellow thing underneath, but also there's 5 silver or black, I'm pretty sure it's a silver colour. Yeah, there's a silver colour underneath the red bar. Those things will allow you to do some poison on certain enemies. And basically what I mean by that is that it will knock some enemies' health all the way down, but some enemies' health will not go all the way down. That will involve Eagle, Dracula, Frankenstein, Falcon the Werewolf, and Dracula's bitches. There'll be 3 of those. And so each one of those kind of enemies, those finisher slots will not knock the enemy's health all the way down. But most of the other enemies, their health will go all the way down. So underneath the red bar, there are 5 of those. As well as those things will knock some enemies' health all the way down, like I said. And some enemies, the ones I named out, it won't knock their health all the way down. As well as they are called finisher slots. As well as you will start with 3 of those. And you can buy 2 more to allow yourself to have 5 of them. As well as, like I said, with the ammo, the light blue bar, it will go to the crossbow, the electric weapon I've got here at the minute with a light blue thing that's pointing up at the minute over here. So you've got a light blue bar that will go to this weapon. That will do that when you push the L1 button, which will allow the light blue bar to go down. Also, when you're not pushing the square button to fire it, and you're just moving around all over the place without pushing the square button, it will still go down. So make sure you don't push the L1 button by accident, because if you do, and you're just moving around all over the place without pushing the square button, the thing will go down, even if you might not think it might. But it will do that. So, also you've got the electricity weapon with the crossbow, with the light blue bar that will go to that. It will also be used. The shotgun will also have it. The pistols will have it as well as the whacking sticks, as well as the saws. Now with the pistols, shotgun, crossbow, the electricity weapon and the machine gun, if you want to switch those weapons, push the right D-pad button or the left D-pad button just once or twice. Especially if you've got the red bar and the light blue bar on up the top of the screen. But if it doesn't and you want to switch to whichever one you want to use, push the left D-pad button or the right D-pad button 2 times for you to have the red bar and of course the other weapons with the red bar to pop up with the light blue bar as well. So keep remembering that. Right, also what you want to do is go towards over here, and over it you'll find a gate that will be guarding something, and it will guard something I'll explain to you in a moment. But first what you want to do is get the electricity weapon and use the ammo by pushing the L1 button just once and push the square a couple of times until that happens, and that will open up the gate where you can push the triangle button, and what will be in there will be the ammo of the light blue bar to go towards the machine gun. And also, like I said, with the light blue bar, push the L1 button once for the ammo, for that to do that on the machine gun. Now, as I said before, with the machine gun and the electricity weapon, when you push the L1 button, those 2 weapons will take a fair bit of chunk out of the light blue bar. But with the pistols and the shotgun and the crossbow, a bit of it will go down a smidge, but not a massive amount. But still, the pistols, the light blue bar will last a lot more than the crossbow, electricity weapon and the machine gun. But also with the whacking sticks, that light blue bar will go down quite a lot as well, Depends on how many times you push the circle button. But with the saws, the light blue bar will go down a smidge. Just like the pistols, it'll take it a little bit. But still, it'll go down just a little ditty bit, as long as you don't keep pushing the circle button in and out all the time. Because with the whacking sticks and the saws, what you're going to have to do is keep pushing the circle in and out, in and out, in and out all the time for you to use the ammo, or either basically just use the weapons as they are. But with the electricity weapon, the machine gun, the crossbow, the shotgun and the pistols, what you're going to have to do is always keep the square button pushed in, as well as the R1 button for the accuracy, which is always what you're going to always need to use. And so there's that all explained to you. And also basically what Helsing's got to do is free someone, which will be Frankenstein. So Frankenstein will be over here somewhere. So you want to push the triangle. We'll find a scene where Helsing's going to run up some steps and more steps to get all the way to him, which is Frankenstein. Also Helsing's going to use his grapple hook to dangle and sling his blade to cut the top bit off and free Frankenstein and get him out of that lock there. You'll find out what he means in a minute. And now Frankenstein's going to find Anna. I'll explain to you in a moment about that. But also there is more Dracula's baby bats. Or vampires, there you go. There'll be a load of Dracula's vampires, babies, all over the place. So if I were you, just run away from them. So don't worry about those. So, as I said before, let's just get the sound to drop for a minute. So let's do that for a minute. Okay, so basically what he means, as well as before I do any details about that. Now, if you've seen the film, you know exactly what Frankenstein's all about, what Frankenstein's telling you. Exactly. So like I said, if you've seen the film, you know exactly what that's all about. But if you haven't seen the film, that's okay. So I'm going to explain to you a couple more details about that. So, as Frankenstein said, destroy the master. Now that is Dracula. And that's what we've got to do. Is because when you kill Dracula, eventually his babies of those vampires, those diddy baby ones that go and strut towards the up the sky. And so basically, you've got to destroy Dracula, and then eventually every single one of those babies will be dead. So, as well as when Frankenstein said about killing the master, that's exactly what you got to do. As well as when Van Helsing said, you got to find Anna. As well as basically what he's going to do is help Anna get something for Van Helsing. Because don't forget, Van Helsing has been bitten. As well as basically what that thing or something that those two are going to get is an antidote that will save Van Helsing's life to stop him turning into a werewolf. That is what that's all about. So that's what Frankenstein's going to do, is go and get Anna, as well as try and find her, to save Van Helsing's life. So that's what he's going to do. As well as, like I said, if you've seen the film, you know exactly what that's all about. And basically, that's pretty much it. Okay. What you want to do is jump all the way down. But if you do that, don't worry about dying, because it won't happen. As well as, last of all, is that, like I said, I'm going to do the game again on easy to try and do something better than I did do on mission 10, which was try and keep a specific thing to show you what you can collect, as well as which will be involved in the hat. Yeah, I did lose the flicking hat last time on mission 10. So yeah, that's what is the reason why I'm going to do the game again on easy, as well as give you an idea of how you can do the challenges as well as try and give you an idea what you can collect from the challenges, as well as give you an idea of how you can do the challenges a bit more better than you can. Also, with challenge number 5, you can do challenge 5 with the machine gun, but also with that, keep in mind, is if you do the game on easy for the first time, what you want to do is finish the game with every single weapon apart from one, and then do the game again on medium, and then you will be able to complete challenge 5 for you to get a cheat from. Because if you're doing it on hard difficulty, to complete that challenge with the machine gun, you ain't got fucking no hope unless you've got the skills to do it. But I'm not very clever enough. But I have done it on medium. So I have got the cheat, which will be full skin for you to collect, as well as find out what it does. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to basically show you what the cheats do, as well as basically what I'm going to do next time on easy. What I'm going to do is just finish the game and hopefully keep the hat on every single mission, and basically try and skip every part of each one of those missions that's got to be done again. As long as you check my other recordings on medium or hard, and then you'll get the idea of what you can collect in the game with everything that's been found, including the life increases, the cheats, and how you can buy the life increaser in armory, the ammo increaser in armory, and some more details about the other things you can buy, including like dodge fire, as well as the final one at the bottom will be involving the finisher slots that can do knocking most enemies' health all the way down, apart from the enemies that I mentioned about, which involve in the Drakkars, Bitches, Igor, Frankenstein, Valgan the Werewolf, as well as Dracula himself, and all that kind of stuff. So there's that all details for you to know about. As well as when you do the missions, with every single one done, you can use all of the weapons again, including with the ammo that goes to them, which is what I'm going to do as well. So like I said, if you've done the game on easy, with all of the weapons apart from one, with the ammo that goes to the 5 weapons you'll collect, unless you finish all of the cheats in the challenges without going through that purple thing, without getting too pissed off that you can't complete those ones I've showed you, with a couple of issues that they can cause. And basically you won't be able to get another weapon, which will be a rifle gun. But like I said, as long as you stay in that area and try and not get too wound up with trying to not getting too wound up, not making a success out of the ones that you're struggling with, or whichever ones that you just can't quite get done, until you can collect every single cheat of the 5 challenges. So you can collect 5 cheats when you completed every single one of those, as well as collect the rifle gun, which is the weapon you can collect. As well as on mission 11, I did show you that you will have the rifle gun, as well as show you what it does when you push the square button with the accuracy button pushed in, which is the R1, and it will fire. As well as with that weapon, it is a strong weapon to knock a great deal of damage on the enemies. And also, speaking of which, when I do easy again, I will show you what the weapon does when I switch the memory cards again to show you exactly how that works. Also, don't forget I did say about the ammo, it doesn't go to that weapon, So don't even try and think about finding that, because you won't be able to get it. But maybe the cheat of the 24 cheats you can collect might allow you to use the ammo, or go to that, but 100% it won't do that. But you can try. Right, so like I said, if you jump down from where I've just jumped down from, don't worry about that, because it won't knock your health all the way down or even do any damage to you. Also, you'll find a hole where you can just jump down from, or just slide down, as you saw that. Now Barson's going to fall from a great height there and do some roly-polies.
So nice of you to drop in. May I give you a
And
hand?
there he is, Dracula. And yes, he's not dead again. And also, you're going to have to fight him 3 times, as well as this time, for the 3rd time. He's a big fucking dude with some wings. Also, what you want to do before he gets to you, just move out of the way, or just do a roll by pressing the X button and push the L3 towards the left or right. Also, when he does this, just push the X and push L3 to one side or the other. Also, when he does this, just keep pushing the X button without pushing the square. Also, now, like I said, with the ammo that you can find, you'll go to the weapon. Also, did that wrong with the R1 and triangle with the grapple hook, which is what I used. Also, my health going down. Yeah. Right, so when he does that, press the start button and go into INVENTORY. Press the X button once. But also with these 5 words, which will be the one at the top, which is return, or whatever RESUME is spelled to be, and push the L3 down to go to INVENTOY, as well as, of course, the other 3, which would be scores, options, and main menu. Also, like I said, press the X button when you've took a load of damage for you to go into the INVENTOY, where you find items, weapons, moves, and cheats, as well as with the speed boost and the ammo, REPEE, and right, so let's try this again. So you'll find in items, you'll have life, REPEN, which will allow you to top your health bar back up to the size you do have. Next of all, you also have ammo, REPEN, which will allow you to top your light blue bar all the way back up to the size you do have, as well as with speed boost. It will allow you to run fast, as well as your weapons that will go fast as well. But also you'll have 20 seconds for that specific thing. Also with the speed boost, ammo, REPEN, and life, REPEN, you'll have 3 of those 3 things, and you can use any of these 3 whenever you want and however you want. But also, like I said, with the life, REPEN, or the ammo, REPEN, or speed boost, all you've got to do is push the X button once for you to allow that to work. So when you push the X once on the life or the ammo or the speed boost, it will automatically be used straight away. So don't push the X again, because otherwise you'll waste it. And all you've got to do is just push the triangle 2 times, and then you'll be able to continue. As well as, like I said, with this bit here, with the INVENTORY, you can see you've got items, weapons, moves, and cheats. And with the cheats, there are 24 of these bloody things. As well as with the 5 of the challenges you'll be doing, you will find these 5, which will be the DWERGER skin. You'll find the WRAITH skin, ARCHANGEL skin, GARG. Nope, let's try this again. You'll also find GARCOYLE skin, and the last one full skin. But with the other 18 of the things, you'll find all of the others scattered around all over the place, apart from one, which will be power up. No, let's try this again. With the other one, which will be POWEROTHES. What you're going to have to do is keep your fucking hat on, which is what's going to stop you getting it. And also with the other 3, you're also going to have to do the game again to get 3 others, because it will have a specific thing to stop you getting it, which will be armory anytime. That's one of them. Another one will be ammo. No, not ammo. Let's try this again. One of them will be unlimited speed. That'll be guarding another one for you to not get until you do the game again. As well as it will stop you getting this one right here, which will be TRANSLUCENT body. That will stop you getting that. As well as, like I said, I have done the game again on hard difficulty to show you where it is on mission 1 for you to collect that one, and on mission 5 again on hard difficulty I did show you where you'll be able to get the armory anytime. As well as still on mission 5, when I did it again on hard difficulty, I did show you where you can get unlimited speed for you to collect in the game. That is all I'm going to say for now, because I'm going to give the ideas of bits and pieces that you might suss out. So, like I said, push the X when he comes towards you. Also, sometimes you can get this thing that he's trying to hit you with, can be pinned in the wall of a thing to stop it hitting you. Also, when he does this thing, all you got to do is keep the R1 and square button pushed in, and just move the L3 towards the left or right, whichever direction you want to go, and just keep going until he stops, like this. I'll push the freaking triangle again. Also, like I said, with the hat, when it falls off, just push the triangle when you stand close to it and pick it up. But as I said before, I have done the game on hard as well as on mission 10. I did lose it from behind a pillar with some kind of rock. I just freaking didn't pick it up when I was doing a lot of chatting. I just forgot about it. And that's how I fluffed up on there. So once you fluff up on without picking the hat on, let's try this again. So whatever mission you're on, and if you forget about the hat and you finish the mission, whichever one you're on, you cannot have a specific thing. So as long as you pick up the hat every time when you see it fall off, and have every mission having a specific thing saying about hat on with a yes on it. But as I said, if you got a mission done with it saying hat on, no. So as long as you notice where the hat is and finish any mission, well, pretty much every single one, with that bit will say hat on, yes. So as long as you got the yes right beside it, and then you're all good. But as long as you just keep picking up the hat. But if you don't, like I said, and you finish any mission with hat on, no. And you won't be getting a specific thing. Because when I did the game on medium and did mission 5 and just did something and just didn't pick up the hat, and then it said finish with hat on, no. So I had to do it on hard and hope and pray that I'll pick it up when it falls off, or just basically spot where it flicking fell off. But I didn't, so I fluffed up again to have mission 10 saying finish with hat on, no. So like I said, when I do the game on easy, hope and pray that I'll keep the hat on by basically trying to skip all the bits and pieces to make a success out of it. Because usually when you say things, like if you're going to go and get a pack of crisps, for example, and you just carry on doing what you do and just forget about it. So yeah. Right, okay then. I'm going to press the triangle and continue on. Also, like I said, with the accuracy, you're always going to need the R1 button pushed in. So make sure you keep doing that. Also, with the ammo, with the machine gun, you can push the L1 button when you're ready. Also, as I said before, I have finished the game on medium with no hat on. And I've done exactly the same on hard difficulty on mission 10 with hat on. No, it doesn't matter. With me forgetting about picking up from over it. So it's the same thing with a mission done with hat on, no. And don't worry about if you lose it again. Just don't worry about it. So yeah, so just don't worry about it, because you can always do the game again with hat on, yes, when you finish a mission. So don't worry about absolutely nothing until you notice the hat flicking falls off and you forget about it. Also, what you can do when you've seen the scene before, you can just press the start button to skip it if you want.
May I give you a hand?
But I'll keep it on for now. So yeah, Dracula looked like a big flicking mummy, or basically just a great big villain. But like I said, he is a vampire after all. Also, if you read a book of Dracula, then that's great. But also, if you have seen the film of Van Helsing, you know exactly how powerful Dracula is. But also this time, when you fire up against him again, it will be called Demon. Also press the start button just at the right time. So that saves me a load of hassle. Also, like I said, with the ammo, it goes to every single weapon apart from that rifle gun I showed you last time on my last recording. Also, basically what he's doing when you're shooting at him and you don't see the red bar at the bottom disappearing is because he's protecting himself. Also, sooner or later, once I've found the right time, I'm going to use the ammo. Also, I just spotted my health bar a little further down as I was chatting there. But lucky I just freaking spotted it. Also, like I said, with the light blue bar or the red bar, you can always use the life REP and ISIG up to top your red bar back up to the top of the size you did have. Or use the ammo REP and ISIG up to top your light blue bar back up to the top of the size you did have. Or either use speed boost for you to run fast, as well as the weapons that can go fast to be absolutely aggressive. So there's that. Oh, you're playing that game, are you? Also, like I said, with the light blue bar, some weapons will allow the ammo of the light blue bar to go down quite fucking quick. And some weapons will allow the light blue bar to last a little bit longer. As well as what it will do is top the light blue bar up at quite a fucking great size to be filled up back again. And some weapons will take some time. And also what I'm going to do is push the triangle for you. Oh, maybe not then. Yeah, I died. So like I said, you can press the start button to skip all the scenes, which is what I'm going to do, and try again. Because you've seen that scene 2 times, and we're going to try and finish him off. Also, like I said, with the weapons, machine gun, electricity weapon, the crossbow, shotgun, pistols, keep the square button pushed in. But with the whacking sticks or the saws, keep pushing the circle in and out all the time. And eventually, you'll just keep whacking your enemies. Fucking hell. Call that just the nick of the time. Also, when you do die, when you're in the same area, your life REP and ISIG up, or your ammo REP and ISIG up, or your speed boosts, whatever number you've got, they will go back up to the number before you used those things. So don't worry about that. But if you do use those, and you go to another room, and you've been using them, they will not go all the way back up. But as long as you've just used 1 or 2, and you just move on to another part of another room that leads to a specific thing on any mission, you'll still have the same number when you've started using them. And all you got to do is just pick up some more for the number to go back up to a number 3 if you haven't got just 1 left to use and all that kind of thing. Like I said, just press the X button once, and then each one of these things will do the thing for you. And you fucking hit me, didn't you? My turn. How did you miss? Oh yeah, because you tucked behind a pillar, didn't you? Now with the ammo, like I said with the machine gun, that the ammo will drop down to quite a fucking nice size. But with the pistols and the shotgun, possibly the ammo will last a little bit longer. Also, you're going to fly straight back in my face. So I am going to use one of these before you fucking kill me again. Piece of shit. But like I said, I'm still on hard difficulty, so it's going to be a lot more tougher. Including every enemy you're up against. They'll play a little bit more fucking nasty. Also, with him and the machine gun, what we want to do is stand a bit more close up with the ammo. And eventually, it will be done. But as he's done, he'll smash himself over there. And the camera's pointing towards that thing. Farson's going to grab that, and where's it going to go? And Farson's going to see him turn back to normal.
I suppose this means goodbye.
And that must be a great big force. Farson's shoving that straight in his fucking chest. Oh. Dracula, you dead? Or are you knackered? Seeing his hands shake all over the place, yeah. Including me, I'm flicking knackered all the time doing that. Yeah, he's not dead. Goes right out and pulling that out of his chest. And dropping the flicking floor.
You didn't actually think I would let you kill me again, did you? Your time is up, my nature friend. How does it feel to know you will die a murderer?
And as I said before, if you've seen the film, you know exactly what's going to happen. But there, he's going to turn into a werewolf.
Oh, this is not right. This cannot be.
And don't forget, he got bitten before.
Don't you understand?
By Valgan, don't forget.
Brothers, you and I.
Yeah,
Part of the same clan.
Valgan bit him.
You were being
So now he's a werewolf.
as was I. But I escaped. And so can you. Join me. And I will give all your memories back. Some things are best left forgotten.
And what's making him turn into a werewolf is the moon. And he's using his claws and using his head, biting him.
Quickly, the antidote.
And so Drac is now dead.
She is dead.
And now that thing that she stuck, that thing in his head, is the antidote. That's what went there.
I killed her. No, it was something else. A force far greater than you. She was right. That was the reason Verkin bit me. He knew it was the only way to kill the vampire. But I couldn't stop it from killing her. And now, I'm the monster. I have seen many monsters, my friend. Believe me, you are not a monster. Please, God, forgive me. You have been forgiven. Look.
And now she's a ghost. Anna. And where do you reckon she's going to go? Oh yes. Into heaven. Like we all do. And now, once again, the screen will go white. And Frankenstein and Dracula, or shall we say, Van Helsing, are going to vanish. So yeah, Falcon and everybody else dead, apart from Van Helsing and of course Frankenstein. They're both still alive and buggered off. As well as, once again, there is the titles of everybody that's been exactly who they are, as well as who's been voicing each one of those, and who are the actors of the film as well as done the game to make it a proper game for everybody else in the world. And so, once again, the game has been finished again, because like I said, it's been done on medium, and that's been on completely done on hard difficulty, with 3 of the cheats that you can't get hold of, with a symbol that will be hiding the 3 cheats, with a specific thing that has to be grabbed hold of for you to get a good chance of destroying the things, for you to get the 3 cheats that you won't be able to get, which will be, of course, the unlimited speed, armory any time, as well as the T word, as well as with body right beside it. And so yeah, there's all the details about those 3. As well as with the other 5 cheats I said about, that you're going to have to do the 5 challenges to get the 5 cheats that you can collect in the game, as long as you complete the challenges. As well as reminding you that you can get a rifle gun unless you stay in the area with the 5 challenges you complete. If, of course, you can collect the cheats from those by completing them. Which, like I said, with a couple of them, that can be a right fucking pain in the ass to be a lot more harder. Which includes challenge number 3, which is the bloodbath. That one can be a right bastard, which I've always had trouble with. And challenge 5, like I said, with the machine gun, you'll only collect that machine gun if you complete the game on easy or medium for the first time, whichever one you're on. As well as when you do the game again, especially if you've done the game on easy for the first time, to collect all the weapons apart from one, go on medium, and then go to challenge 5 and use the machine gun and kill every single skeleton, and then you'll have a chance of completing challenge 5. And that is the bestest easy way of you making a success out of that. As well as with challenge 1, what you're going to have to do is get the enemy. That'll be the stone flying vampires, but there'll be a couple of those. And basically, don't forget, you're going to have to get every kind of one of those to smash all the statues before the time runs out. But that one's half of a bit of a tricky one to deal with, but it can be done. Challenge 2, which will be defend the ring. That can be one of the fucking cunts to deal with, because you got the owls that can knock you off and get in the bloody way. As well as possibly you can slide off ledges for you to just make a fail of not getting the cheat from that. But also, as long as you do that one on easy, then you got a good chance of completing that one. Challenge 4 is a piece of piss. All you got to do is just complete challenge 4, which will be the maze, which is basically just move in the right purple bit of all the other ones that's around, and just go for the right one, and then find the bridge to get across to the other side without going through the wrong one, or go back through the right correct one that there is, before you alert the enemy, which will be the whacking sticks, with one of those dudes with their own whacking sticks to knock your health out. Because if you alert one of those with going through the wrong one, the time is just going to beat you. And so yeah, there it is. 7 hours and 55 minutes and 14 seconds it took me, which is quite impressive in one way of putting it, I suppose. And so there you go. Mission 12 is complete once again. As well as, like I said before, I did get the last few lyrics to be dealt with on the left hand side of the screen. There was challenge 5, was basically get the machine gun and do that on easy for you to get a good chance of completing it by using a machine gun and destroy every single skeleton before the time runs out, which is pretty straightforward for you to do. As well as challenge 3, with that one is the bloodbath. This is because you've got to jump on certain platforms, and there will be 5 of those for you to escape the circle thing before the blood reaches you. So you've got to jump on 5 platforms and just stay on it, and then you can use the R1 and triangle for you to pull yourself up when the grapple hook thing with the other 2 weapons that you'll be using, for it to say you can escape from it. But the thing with that is that when you're standing on platforms, sometimes you can slide off one of those specific things, or either you can just jump straight off, which can be a right pain in the neck. Sometimes Van Helsing might want to stay still on top of it, or either just wants to straight nice jump over it. But yeah, that's the thing with that. As well as, of course, mission 12 is done with 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Best kills, there are 6 of those. Shots fired, which took us up to 728 of those over there. And of course, you've got MELEE hits, which is to do with the whacking sticks or the saws, but I haven't done none of those. That's what's on 0. Damage taken, which is the enemies that takes damage on you, and we've got 491. GLYPHS, which has got the green god symbols that you'll pick up, and we've got 5,865. Fish with hat on, yes, like I said, every mission with the hat on, you're always going to need those completed with the hat on to say yes. But as I said before, on mission 10, it was on the floor right behind a pillar, but I just forgot to pick it up because I was doing a lot of chatting, so I like to say nope with hat on. And of course, like I said, I was doing it on medium, and on mission 5 I did the same, roughly the same thing. Forget it was on the flicking floor, and just didn't push the triangle to pick it up. So next time I'll have a hope and pray that I'll do it with the hat on, with every single one there is. Last of all, you've got and the last one, enemies killed. I've only done 6 of those. And so there is that bit done for you to know about, as well as you got armory and continue. Now, before I do anything, now when you do the game on hard difficulty, you'll also get something else, and you'll find out in a moment. But before you do, what I'm going to do is go into armory and press the X button to go straight in to remind you what you can pay for in armory with the green god symbols that you'll collect, as well as however hammer you've got. Now, also on the top of the lot there'll be life increases, which has already been sold out. Also, there'll be 5 of them for you to pay for. The price will be 1,000. Next one will be 1,500. Another one will be 2,000. Another one will be 2,500. And another one will be 3,000 for every time. So every time when you buy one of the black squares will be filled up in red. But like I said, with any mission you do and you find a life increaser, you're going to have to find another one for one of the black squares to be filled up in red. So you get to find 2 of them to allow one of those black squares to be filled up in red. Next of all, you've got a life REPN as a job. It will be 500. Also, you can buy 3 of these for 500, as well as if you got 2, you can just buy 1, or you can just leave it and you can find another one of those anywhere in your next mission. You can collect those in any mission for free without even paying for 500. So like I said, every time when you buy one of these, you're just going to have to pay for 500 for those things, which will allow you to use those to top your health bar back up to the size you do have, which I've been using those. Next of all, you've got ammo increaser. Is exactly the same price for you to pay for. You allow you to have 5 of the light blue bars for each one of those black squares to be filled up in blue. So once again, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, and 3,000. So the life increaser and the ammo increaser, they both stay the same prices unless you buy them. Next of all, you've got ammo, REP and SHL. They will also still be 500, just like the life, REP and SHL. You can also still buy 3 of these if you haven't bought any of those, or either you haven't got none of those found from any mission you're doing. So still, you can have 3 of those, including 3 ammo, also including 3 of the life, REP and SHL. As well as the speed boost that's next will be 800. Also, you can find these anywhere and you can just pick those up for free without paying for 800 when you're deciding to buy any of these, which will allow you to use some speed for 20 seconds for the weapons to go fast, as well as you to run fast, whichever way you want to use it. As well as, like I said, it is up to 800, so it will allow you to do those kind of things. But still, like I said, you can always just pick them up from any mission, and you don't have to pay for fuck all for any of those 3 things, especially speed boost, because it is 800. Next of all, you've got dodge fire, which has been sold out, which will be by you. What it will do is allow you to use the pistols, crossbow, and of course the shotgun, as well as it will be 1,500. And also basically what it's going to do is allow the pistols, shotgun, and the crossbow to do 2 bangs at once when you do pay for it. Basically what you're going to need to do is hold the R1 and hold the push the square and push the X, and of course L3 towards the left or right, or down to do a roll left or right, or down to do a back roll, for you to get the 3 weapons, pistols, shotgun, or the crossbow to go bang bang, which is what it will do, is do 2 shots at once. So as I said before, it's dodge fire, it's worth 1,500, as well as what it will do is allow the pistols, shotgun, and the crossbow to do 2 bangs. And basically, like I said, what you're going to need to do is hold the R1, hold the square in, and push the X, and of course push the L3 towards the left or right, or down to do a roll left or right, when you also do push the X towards or wherever you want to go. Next of all, you've got grapple straight, which will be 500, but also when you don't pay for it, all you're going to do is pull your enemies towards you with the R1 and triangle. But also when you do pay for it and you do the same thing, R1 and triangle, you can pull them towards you, or any enemy you're up against, and you'll hurt them a little bit. Also, it will be 500 for you to do exactly that, hurt your enemies with this thing when you do the R1 and triangle. Next of all, you'll have grapple strike, which will be 1,500 for the sword to do something, which will also say about hold R1, which is your accuracy, as well as push forward, which is the L3 up, which is what it's going to tell you to do, and perform a MELE attack. So you're going to do a nice little attack with that sword blade. So you're going to do a nice attack, as well as 2 strike, and sometimes pop enemies that are falling on the ground, which is what it can do for 1,500. Next of all, you've got 2 Joe Fire, which is worth for 2,000 for the swords. Also, it's going to say hold your 2 Joe attack to flying your 2 Joe BLADES word spells at opponents. I'm pretty sure that's what OPPONENTS is spelled to be. So it's 2,000 for that kind of thing for the sword. Next of all, you've got air hop for 1000. Also is for the swords again. So air hop, which is going to allow you to have, after holding your air strike attack button, which is the circle button that you're going to have to hold in, as well as to rise into the air, press a DIRETION, what it spells to be exactly, and tap X to jump on Finette, which is what Van Helsing can do. Next of all, you've got another weapon, which is the whacking sticks that you can have, as well as the name of them, which will be let's try this again. So the name of the whacking sticks, which is SCIMITARS, whatever the spell of the name is exactly. Also beside where it's going to say SCIMITAR, so right beside that will be saying swinging for 1000. So you can swing with these, which is basically allow Van Helsing to swing with those. Also, what it's going to say beside and underneath the picture of it is after a grand strike, which is involving you paying for a grand strike for 1000 first of all, then hold R1, which is the axis that you're always going to need for every single weapon. Push forward, which is the L3 up again, and attack with the name of the weapon, as I said, SCIMITARS, to perform a spinning, as well as it have the SCIMITAR attack. So you can do a nice little attack with Van Helsing swinging those things around. Next of all, you've got the swords again, which is the MELEE. Right beside it is where it's going to have explosion with EXP. Let's try this again. With EXPLOSION. Pretty sure that's what it spells to be, but also it's 2000. Also, it's what it's going to allow you to do is a ring of ice or fire explodes. I'm pretty sure that's what EXPLODES is spelled to be. From the last hit of your ALTERNATE, as well as ammo, which is the light blue bar with L1 button pushed in once, as well as the name of the sword, MELE, as well as combos is what's there for you to do, but it's 2000, don't forget. Next of all is the final last thing, which is finish a slot. Also, you will start with 3 of those in the game, but also you can buy 2 more for you to knock some enemies' health all the way down, but some enemies' health, it will not knock their health all the way down. As well as the 2 of those prices for when you decide to buy any of them, which will be 2,500, and the last one, don't forget, get ready, 3,500 for that thing. So there it is. Those are the things you can pay for. Also, what I'm going to do is buy every one of them for 500, as I've got a lot of money to pay for. As well as, don't forget, before we leave the game, to do it again on easy, you will collect something else when you have completed the game on hard difficulty. You probably already sussed out what you can get if you complete the game on hard difficulty. But like I said, if you have done the game before and you know exactly what I'm on about when you're doing the game on hard difficulty, because you'll get something. But if you haven't seen the game before, or you've never played it, you're about to find out what you're going to get. So before you do anything, press the start. Before you do anything, press the X button for the thing to say save your CURRENT, what it spells. As well, it's going to have CHARACTER, what it's supposed to be, in a new game, which is what you're going to need to do. So press the X and then go to whichever one you want to save it on, which I'm going to do it on hard, and then push the L3 towards the left, where it's going to say yes on a white colour, as well as it's going to have, do you want to overwrite the selected save game, which is what you want to do. And then when you do, like I said, what I'm going to do is go on easy, which is going to make the word go white, which is what you want to do. And like I said, you're going to find out what you're going to get when you do the game on hard difficulty. So you're about to find out. Also, don't forget, you've got all the weapons, including the ammo, which will be the light blue bar, to go with those. So you've got that as well. So you can use the ammo on every single weapon, apart from one, which will be the rifle. Don't forget. So you can use the light blue bar on the 5 weapons you'll collect, whenever you want, and however you want, basically. And of course, we're back to the start of the game, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to do it another day. Okay, so like I said, I've shown you where all the life increases are and how you can do the challenges, as well as where you can find all of the cheats and where you can buy all your bits and pieces, what you want to get hold of. And so you're wondering, what are you going to get if you do the game on hard difficulty? You're about to find out. So in the INVENTOY, what you want to do is make sure that word is in white when you press the start button, and you'll find the items, weapons, moves and cheats, and push the L3 towards the left, or use the left D-pad button without using the L3 towards the right by doing it 3 times, or even pushing the right D-pad button 3 times. So the thing you'll collect when you've done the game on hard difficulty, you'll have something else, which is unlimited ammo. Yes, unlimited ammo. You will have that now. How about that? And there you go. There are all of the cheats you can collect in the game. But like I said, with the challenges that you'll do, there's 5 of them, which will be DWERC. No, let's try this again. So with the challenges, of the 5 challenges you complete, whenever you do, you'll get DWERGER skin. The other one will be WRAITH skin. The other one will be ARCHANGEL skin. The other one will be GARCOYLE skin. And the last one will be Phil skin. But also, you've probably sussed out the other last one at the top that doesn't involve the challenges, is this one, which is the power, CLOTHES. Now that one is all to do with the fucking hat. You will always gonna need the hat on every mission that you fucking complete, which is what I've always struggled on lately. But yeah, you'll be able to get that unless you keep the hat on and complete every single challenge. No, let's try this again. So if you complete every mission that you do, and you'll have the cheats, which is power, CLOTHES. But every time I've done Fan game on medium and freaking hard, I've always fucked up with having the hat fallen off, which is disappointing. But as long as you do every single mission with keeping the hat on, or either when it falls off, push the triangle and pick the fucking thing back up again. But I've never flicking done that for some reason. But especially mission 10, I was doing a lot of chatting and I just forgot where it fell off. I just didn't push the triangle button to pick it up. But with challenge 5, when I did it on medium, I was just doing other bits and pieces and just died, and I knew exactly where it was. And time I did it again, the freaking thing moved out the fucking way. It just put it somewhere, or it just nicked it off me for me to not freaking pick it up, which is what it sometimes can do. But as long as you know where it is and don't die, then you'll be fine to pick it up and you're all good. So there you go. There's all the challenges explained and all of the cheats you can collect in the game. And like I said, there are 24 in total. There are 5 you can collect from the challenges, and 3 of them you can collect if you do the game again, especially if you started on easy and do the game again on medium. And you can use the machine gun to destroy the things that will stop you from getting those 3 cheats, which is, like I said, it will be the one that will be armory anytime in mission 5, including unlimited speed, and also in challenge 1, on mission 1, when you've got the machine gun, you will be able to get the TRANSLUCENT body. You'll collect that one when you've also have done part of mission 1 again. So there you go. There's all of the challenges and all the cheats, and of course the life increases, where you have to buy some, including the ammo of the light blue bar you have to buy, as well as where all of the other life increases are in every mission that you can find them in, and all the other bits and pieces that explains other bits and pieces that you're going to have to do. So there you go. Also, before we do anything, I will show you what the unlimited ammo does, as well as, like I said, or just about to say, you probably know exactly what that's going to fucking do. So here we go. Unlimited ammo with the machine gun. Keep the square button pushed in and watch that light blue bar. Watch it. Keep watching it. It chucks it straight up. How about that? It chucks it straight up the top every time when you're doing it. So there you go. Now, the electricity weapon, don't forget the ammo, light blue bar. Ready? What it'll do is that all the time. And also, as you can see, the light blue bar is going down. Not as much, but it will still go back up when it goes a certain point, when it stops going down. Also, once again, with the machine gun and the electricity weapon, all the other weapons, the ammo will go straight towards it and you can still use it. That's what I'm going to do, stand a bit more close up towards the wall and show you what it does. And so yeah, that's what it'll do. Now what I'm going to do is a shotgun. And as you just saw, the ammo that goes to the shotgun, it even lasts a little bit longer than that. There you go. What about the pistols, ready? Watch the light blue bar. It's lasting even longer. There you go. Right, now the saws. Watch the light blue bar. There you go. And now the whacking sticks. And they do that, basically. So there you go. There's all the weapons with the ammo. Apart from one, like I said, with the one that is the rifle, it does not have the light blue bar that goes to it at all. So don't worry about trying to get that in there because you won't get it. So there you go. there is the game done on hard as well as medium. And so next time what I'm going to try and do is do the game on easy without losing the hat, to show you what will be the cheat that you'll get if you can't remember, as well as if you haven't checked all my other recordings, including this one. And then you'll get the idea of what you'll get, including roughly what those cheats do. So what I'm going to do is probably check all of the cheats again and try and show you what they do. That's the plan. So yeah, once again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall catch you on the next one soon when it is time for me to have another go. So once again, I shall catch you there soon. Take care.